John starts the game with a forest and a soul ring. Sam follows up with a command tower. Tom attempts to mirror John with a swamp and his own soul ring, while Extra simply plays a plains. John plays the plains and casts Nature's Lore, finding overgrown tomb, paying 2 life to have it enter untapped. He then casts his commander, Frodo, Adventurous Hobbit, and passes. Sam plays a swamp, followed by an Izzet Signet. Tom plays an island and casts a Nazgul. It triggers, tempting itself and getting a +1/+1 counter. Extra plays a plains, followed by a thought vessel. John plays a forest, then casts his other commander, Sam Loyal Attendant, followed by Idol of Oblivion. He goes to combat, triggering Sam to make food, which he immediately sacrifices to gain 3 life. After that, he attacks Sam with Frodo, triggering his effect to tempt Frodo. Finally, he activates Idol to draw a card, before passing the turn. Sam plays a training center, then casts Dimir's Signet. He follows up with a Sage of Fables, and passes the turn to Tom. Tom plays a swamp, and casts his commander, Lord of the Nazgul. He then attacks John for 2 with his Nazgul, and passes. Extra plays a plains, followed by a Circuit Mender, gaining 2 life. John plays a Shattered Sanctum, then casts Indulging Patrician, followed by Call of the Ring. He goes to combat, triggering Sam to make a food, which he immediately sacrifices to gain 3 life. After that, he again attacks Sam with Frodo, triggering his effect to tempt, and draw 2 cards with the help of Call of the Ring, while losing 2 life. After damage, he activates Idol to draw a card, while triggering Patrician end of turn, making each opponent lose 3 life. Sam plays an island, and casts his commander, Sauron the Dark Lord, before passing the turn. Tom plays a swamp, and casts Sedgemoor Witch, which triggers Sauron. He then attacks John for 6, and passes to Extra. Extra only plays a Buried Ruin, and passes. On John's upkeep, Cole triggers, tempting Frodo, in order to pay 2 life and draw. He then casts Witch's Oven, and Tom responds with a Go for the Throat, targeting Sam, triggering Witch and Lord of the Nazgul. John then recasts Sam, plays a plains, casts an Arcane Signet, and goes to combat, triggering Sam to make a food. He then sacrifices the food, gain 3, before attacking Sam for 2, triggering Frodo, Ring, and Call, eventually drawing 3, discarding 1, and losing 2 life. Ring then triggers again, making each opponent lose 3 life, followed by an activation of Idol to draw, and Patrician making each opponent lose 3 again on end of turn. Sam plays a Dragon Skull Summit and casts both Herald of Secret Streams and Feign the Broker, followed by an attack on John with the army, triggering Sauron to tempt said army, discarding his hand and drawing 4. Tom plays an Nazgul, triggering his effect to tempt and give all wraiths 2 counters. He then attacks John for 15 while looting with the ring. After combat, he casts Arcane Signet and passes, but is interrupted by Extra, who flashes in his commander, Gandalf the White. On his turn, Extra plays a plains, casts Sky Scanner, drawing 2 cards, followed by Scrapyard Recombiner. On John's upkeep, Cole triggers, tempting Frodo in order to pay 2 life and draw. He then plays a swamp and casts Agent of the Iron Throne. After that, he goes to combat, triggering Sam to make a food, followed by an activation of Idol to draw. He then sacrifices a food to gain 3, triggering Throne twice, followed by an attack on Sam for 2, triggering Frodo, Ring, and Call. Again, Ring and eventually Patrician trigger to make each opponent lose a total of 6 life. Sam plays an island, attacks John with his army, but is met with a Beast Within from John, trying to destroy said army. In response, Sam draws 3 cards with Sage, and uses Feign to make a treasure. After combat, he casts Gollum, Patient Plotter, and passes. Tom first casts Ayara, first of Locthwain, draining everybody for 1, followed by a Rite of Replication on Nazgul, triggering Witch and Lord, which triggers Ayara 2 more times. In response, John uses Witch's Oven to sacrifice Patrician for 2 foods, triggering Throne twice, followed by a sacrifice of food, gaining 3, triggering Throne, and finally a Mortality Spear on the targeted Nazgul. After all that, Tom attacked John for 14, forcing him to block, again triggering Throne. Extra plays a Plains, attacked John for 5, and activates Recombiner, sacrificing Mender to draw 2 and find Kuldotha Forge Master. John first casts Tireless Provisioner, plays an Overgrown Farmland making a treasure, activates Idol to draw, and sacrifices a food to gain 3 and trigger Throne. He then attacks Sam with Frodo, triggering the Ring, and Frodo to draw 2 cards and discard 1. The Ring then triggers again, this time making all opponents lose 3. After combat, he casts Dockside Chef, sacrificing it with Witch's Oven, making a food and triggering Throne, followed by a sacrifice of food with the treasure to gain 3 and trigger Throne twice, killing Sam, before passing to Tom. Tom simply attacked John for 17, finishing him off, and with nothing else, he passes, while Extra casts Kuldotha Forge Master and Prize Statue before his turn begins. Extra starts off by activating Forge Master, finding Car Clan Ironworks. He then casts Chromatic Star, which is used by Recombiner to draw 2 and find Scrap Trawler. With this, he proceeds to draw his deck with the combination of Car Clan Ironworks, Trawler, Workshop Assistant, and Junk Diver, winning with a grinding station to mill out Tom.